Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the Home Weather Office on this Friday morning. It is the 5th day of April, 2024. This is the morning briefing. And while it is the 5th day of April, when I look outside the Home Weather Office, it looks more like a January day. It is overcast, it's a little drippy, and it's cold. Temperatures on the valley floor are only in the low 40s. In the foothills, it's in the 30s. Outside the home weather office, it's about 38 or 39 degrees. That's cold for this time of year, and it certainly fueled the low snow that we saw yesterday and continued to see in some areas today, but with very little accumulation. But I'm sure there are a lot of you in some of the lower elevations that have seen some of those big fat flakes coming down. Let me show you what is happening this morning on radar. So this is as I'm recording this around 8:30 in the morning. A couple of things to point out here. Of course, we have the precipitation. That's all snow here. And you'll notice how this area isn't moving very much, but if you come down here over Tuolumne County, this area is moving. And then you come down here over the valley, look at the way these echoes are moving from north to south. So we have this low spinning around. So you can clearly see that motion here. And that's going to play a role in what's going to happen as we go through the day today, especially in parts of Yolo and Solano and Napa counties. So with that in mind, let me show you what's going to happen. So this is the HRRR. This is the snow that I was just showing you. And as we go through the day, this is the middle part of the day, we continue to see snow showers in the Sierra, and there'll likely be chain controls up from time to time on 80, 50, and 88. But what I want you to watch is what's going to happen this afternoon. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Those areas that I mentioned, watch how the showers develop right here. So we have that flow. The low is spinning around this way. So that flow is going to go this way onto the west slope, I should say the east slope of the coastal range. So we'll see showers and maybe thunderstorms develop in Lake County and down toward Lake Berryessa. And then with that flow coming down from the north, those will drift down into Solano County so that by 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we've got rain and maybe thunderstorms in Napa, as well as around Fairfield, Vacaville, Dixon, Vallejo, areas like that. So if you commute on Interstate 80, you're going to be running into some of that. But around the Sacramento area and Stockton and Modesto, wouldn't be surprised if there's a good amount of sun by then. And that's why temperatures today should get into the mid-50s. Still well below average, but any sun at this time of year with that higher sun angle will boost temperatures pretty nicely. This is after sunset. All of that dissipates and everything goes away as we go through the night. Now, this is tomorrow morning. This is Saturday morning. For those of you that have an early start to your Saturday, it is going to be cold. Valley temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. I don't think we'll see frost. I've had people ask me about frost because we've had a lot of gardening going on, and certainly people in the ag industry are worried about frost at this time of year. That's not a good thing. I think the valley will be able to avoid frost. However, for the foothills, especially above Highway 49, let's say above 1,500 feet, there will be areas of frost in the morning. For those of you in the wine industry, trying to grow grapes, I'm not sure where you are in terms of bud break at this time, but it could be a rather dicey morning. It's going to be cold Saturday morning with temperatures in the low to mid 30s in the foothills. Saturday is dry, and then this little weak wave as we go through the day on Sunday kind of falls apart. There'll likely be some afternoon showers, snow showers in the Sierra. But with very little accumulation as this little system goes by. But that'll keep temperatures on the cooler side. So we are going to be on the cooler side for a little while. Let's talk about the big picture here. And so here's what's going on with the 500 millibar chart. You can just see that cold air. Alaska is up here. The flow just drops down from the north and has carried that cold air into California. And that's what we're feeling right now. As we head into the day on Saturday, we get this little ridging, and then here's the system that goes by on Sunday. Very, very weak, but enough to keep the cold air around. And then on Monday, we finally start to get a ridge in here, a north flow. That starts to warm things up, getting temperatures back up to around 70 or 72. It gets warmer on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Depending on what this low does down here, we may see our first 80s of the year by Thursday. Right now, I think last night we were forecasting something like 82 for Thursday. We'll see how that holds together. But even as we get into the following weekend, Let's see, what are we up to? Yeah, this is next weekend. Right now, the models are forecasting another ridge. So yeah, next weekend could turn out to be quite nice as well. I'm not saying this is going to be it for the season. However, usually once we get up to about tax day, April 15th, usually rain becomes a lot less frequent, but we can still get these cold incursions that can bring us areas of rain and thunderstorms and that sort of thing. But it does look as though once we get to the day on Monday, we'll start a warming trend that'll stick around for a while. And one other thing I'll show you this morning, this is the overnight GFS, and this is Monday around midday. And the eclipse goes right through here, and yeah, Texas and Arkansas look to be areas where we'll likely have an overcast. Now, the overcast still might be somewhat thinner, but for those that are going to be in places like San Antonio or maybe toward the Austin area and that sort of thing, the eclipse may be blocked by a lot of cloud cover. I think areas in the Northeast are probably going to do quite a bit better. And in California, where we get about a 35% view of the eclipse, a partial eclipse, actually the sky should be relatively clear. So that's everything I've got for you this morning regarding weather. Yesterday, at this point in the discussion, I mentioned that we had announced my retirement for television coming up sometime in June or July, and that prompted a lot of you to ask if I'm going to continue to do these after I retire. And yeah, I will. But you'll have to forgive, because sometimes I'll be taking advantage of my retired life and being elsewhere. So, but no, I do plan on continuing to do this after I retire. But there may be some gaps in between. And just as a note, there will be a gap next week. As a matter of fact, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will not be able to do these next week. So until then, that's everything I've got for you this morning, but I will be on TV tonight at, let's see, today I'm doing the 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. So, but that's everything I've got for you this morning. If I don't talk to you then, if I don't see you then have a great weekend, and I'll talk with you later.